In this lecture, I'm going to give you an exercise. Thus far, you've had the opportunity to view my process for developing themes. Hopefully, you've been following along with me. For this lecture, I'm going to give you an exercise. The last section in our template is the footer. Let's take a look at the footer. Looking closely, the footer has a few sections. First, we have a set of 3 columns with headings and paragraphs. Afterward, there's a white line that goes straight through the footer. We haven't explored all of WordPress's blocks. However, there is a block for adding a separator. Below the separator, there's another paragraph of text. On the right side, there are social media links. WordPress has a block for creating this type of UI. Overall, we don't need HTML blocks for creating a footer. At this point, I feel like you can tackle this type of template on your own. As an exercise, try recreating the footer with blocks. Take your time, and don't worry about being perfect. We'll go through the solution together. Pause the video, and good luck. Welcome back. If you were able to successfully create the template, that's great. If not, that's fine. In the resource section of this lecture, I provide a link to a gist. Rather than going through each option, I'm going to provide you with the entire solution. Copy the code into your clipboard. Next, open the footer.html file in the parts folder. Let's replace the current template with a new copy of the template. Understandably, you may be curious as to how I've created the template. Your solution may be completely different than mine. Keep in mind, WordPress provides various ways to tackle the same solution. If your layout is different than mine, that's fine. As long as you are able to achieve the same thing visually, you're good to go. Let's walk through my solution. In the browser, open the footer template file. You may need to reset the template to view the original template. The HTML block should not be inside your template. Overall, we have a few dozen blocks for creating the footer's design. Most of these blocks should be familiar to you. Starting from the top, everything is wrapped with a group block. On this block, we're applying 3 settings. The first setting changes the text color of the block. By changing the text color on the group block, children blocks will inherit the color. This saves us time by modifying the colors on each block. Secondly, we're changing the background color. Lastly, we have padding on the block to add breathing room. They shouldn't be sitting near the edge of the group. Up next, we have a columns block. There's not much to say about this block. We have a total of 3 columns. Each column has a heading and paragraph. The columns block has the classes container and MX Auto to center the content. These same classes can be found on the other blocks too. Afterward, we have the separator block. I'm introducing a new block. The separator block will add a horizontal line across the container. There are 2 settings on the block. Firstly, we're setting the style to wide. Otherwise, the separator block will not stretch from side to side. Secondly, we're changing the color to white. Let's move on to the last block, which is a row block. It contains the paragraph and social icons blocks. The row has the space between option enabled for the justification. This option will allow the children blocks to sit on the opposite ends of each other. The social icons block is new to us. As the name suggests, it's a block that can contain a list of social icons. Under the hood, they're links that can redirect the user to a business's social media page. The settings for the icons are mostly unchanged. For the style, I've decided to go with the logos only option. This was to remove the background color of the social icons. As for the color of the icons, they've been modified to white. By default, the color of the icons will be based on the social media platform. In my opinion, the icons stood out too much. Setting them to white will match our footer. I've enabled the Open Links in New Tabs option. Lastly, I've modified the block spacing option to 0.5 rem. This option will add spacing between each icon. Feel free to add any social media icon. I've added generic platforms. We're finished. If we were to view the front end, the footer should be fully functional. Perfect. The index template is finished. If the footer template is not working, you may need to reset the index template. It took us some time, but we've got a functioning home page. However, some elements aren't functional. These elements will be revisited in a future section. For now, we can move on to other templates. Let's begin exploring other templates in the next lecture.